Okay. Well, I'm assuming that this is me talking about something. It's probably my most my most favorite, or my most one of the most important topics, I think, of anything, because of the actual size of the thing and the size of the subject. But because it's so big, oh, good, thank you, Julie. Hi, Pat, and thank you for getting me going. Yeah, because of the size of the subject, and because I don't need my glasses off because they make me look 10 times older, I'm going to take them. I can't see you now, but that doesn't matter because whatever. Yeah, because it's such a vast subject, and because it is implicit to every living creature. And I'm sorry to say, or following in context, every living creature, I think, because every living thing has spirit, and therefore to some degree, greater, lesser, smaller, higher, lower, or whatever, we all travel. My experiences probably are mine, therefore they won't be the same as anyone else's, yet they will have some corresponding factor, some little thing that a person will say, oh, yeah, I remember that. But because it is such a big thing, and because I don't want to bore you, I thought I might break it up into a series of segments, take it as far as I can go tonight, and then continue it at another time. My first words to everybody on the subject of out-of-body journeying is that it is everybody's. It is mine, it is my friends, it's everybody, it's my husband's, it's my daughter, it's every person has an inbuilt system that allows them to function on millions and millions of levels. And this idea of journeys out of body is just one. It's just one in the sense that somehow we can relate it to our human condition. So when did it start happening to me? Well, of course, it's always been happening to me, just as it's always been happening to you. But a better way to look at it would be, how come I suddenly started to, if you like, not remember it so much as declare it to myself? I put it down to time-wise as being brought to me because of something happening, and made known to me because of something happening, or made a kind of recognition to me. And it goes back to 1960 and to a car journey, and to me being in this car with a couple of other people. I was on the front seat with my then boyfriend, who intrinsically saved my life. But anyway, we're coming round the corner, and the next I can remember is headlights, absolutely filling the car. And my boyfriend at the time saying, "What's that fool doing?" or something like that. And then his hand, because seatbelts just didn't exist then really, his hand coming across me and pushing me back into the seat, which really left him completely unguarded, but so incredibly brave. That's all I remember of the impact. The next I remember is of being waking and of being inside a police car, and on the front seat, and there was a policeman on this side of me. And I don't know how I knew the car was locked. I guess I knew because of earlier situations where I tried to get out of it, but it was locked. It was locked on the inside. And I see often in films and whatever, someone recovering from a major incident and they'll say, "Where am I?" Well, actually I did. I said, "Exact, so banal. Where am I?" And the policeman said to me, "Don't you know?" And I said, "No." To cut a very, very, very traumatic and long story short, he said, "You were involved in an accident." And he said, "You were hit by a car with two young boys in the front who'd stolen the car." So then I noticed that my arm was completely saturated with blood. And he said, "It's not your blood. It's not your blood." So then I asked, "Why am I locked in the car?" He said, "Because we had to do that, because you kept getting out." I don't remember any of this, but the story goes that I kept getting out. I got out, got into the car where these two boys were. One was dying and the other was trapped under the steering impacted his chest. And that when the police arrived, they found me in this car with this boy, and it was his blood. And they sort of got me out of it, shoved me in the car, but I got out and I kept going until I was such a bloody nuisance that they locked me in the car. I don't remember any of that. And I, in my heart, don't actually know if this is significant in as much as the outer body journeying started from, I don't think it did. But I think what happened was that it was such a traumatic event. And because also I was involved in whiplash, and whiplash, this kind of thing that happens with the head, it rattles the brain around a bit. And so I think that a convolution of coincidences came together. And what happened was that I had a key, and the key was suddenly or slowly a recognition of being able to do, see, go places that I had never gone or seen before. There is a lot more to do with that boy that died and me involved with him, but there's pointless me talking about that. God rest his soul. So that led me later in my life to look back on that point and realize that sometimes out-of-body things, these conscious remembrances of things, exploration, sometimes need a trigger point. Some people find a trigger point in booze, some in drugs, some in a state of kind of metamorphosis, meditation, etc. But mine, I pinpoint to that because thereafter I started to become aware of what was happening to me and to monitor it. And that's the big thing. There's loads of you out there who do this and who come back with possibly a memory of it. And later, perhaps at the end of all the chit chats, we can have a look at how we can build up an association between you and your sleeping self and the larger you that desires to get out. Because that's the big thing, the desire to get out. Bob Monroe, in all his books, talks about curiosity. And that is my nature. Where spiritual things are concerned, I am a nosy woman. I am so curious about it. Why? And that aspect of me began to record data. So many of these travelings happened to me before I had the blooming good sense to start writing them down or recording them. And some of them were extraordinary. But in order to place them in time, which is completely impossible because time has nothing to do with it. That's the wonderful thing. Time stretches. I have seen myself die. In this life. Yeah. Forward. Oh, God, scary shit. This old woman lying in a bed, whatever. Seen it. I felt it. Was in the presence of my older self. Not so long off. Not so far away from now. But looking dreadful. And recognize what I was seeing. And maybe it will help me when that happens. I don't know. I think everything that we do in these dreams, in these experiences, is for the one reason and one reason only. It's teaching, it's evolution. It's saying, look.